letter. Point 2 says, on 3 occasions between June 2017 and September 2017, GRA sought approval from PPA, and that's what Sami was making reference to use the single source procurement method to engage SML to provide transaction audit service. PPA did not grant that approval. Subsequently, GRA engaged SML as a subcontractor to West Blue, so using another route to achieve more of the same purpose. SML eventually took over the services provided by West Blue when West Blue's contract came to an end on the 31st of December 2018. GRA added external price verification to the services offered by SML and signed a downstream petroleum audit agreement with SML. That's also another issue that has to be questioned. All these were done without PPA approval. Following a change of leadership at GRA, the new leadership sought to regularize the contract. So how do you then regularize an irregularity?
Parliamentary approval.
Indeed.
And tell Afenyo Market to go and read that.
It goes on and on. In fact,
listen to what the president says.
Another issue raised by KPMG is the absence of parliamentary approval for the contracts, given that they are multi-year contracts, which must be approved by Parliament. So that's where the concern is. And we cannot. What are the fundamental questions that you expect that be addressed, at least to ensure that we guard against these leakages in the public finances?
First of all, this issue becomes of big concern, especially with the PDS in mind. Now, the PDS arrangement was very simple. Electricity Company of Ghana collects revenues. And then, for some strange reason, the government decides that another company should collect the revenue. PDS was not going to generate electricity. PDS was not going to provide any transmission facilities or infrastructure, nothing, just revenue collection. And the arrangement under which PDS contract was done is quite similar to this one. And those are the things that will raise concerns for public-spirited, nationally minded citizens. Now, first of all of the illegalities have been established beyond doubt. That this is a contract that you couldn't have said should go for sole sourcing. And all the explanations and the conditions under which sole sourcing can be done, whether it is under critical conditions, this is an emergency, this company is the only one that can produce it under very competitive conditions. None of these were met. And yet, you go for a sole sourcing. This company is a nascent company. A company that was just born without any experience. No parliamentary approval. And people in government, including the majority leader, Afenyo Marking, is defending this matter. I mean, it's very worrying, I tell you. When I read portions of the Fourth Estate report, investigation on this matter, where the president's own white paper on the report was even quoted, where the president admitted clearly that this contract, there are issues with it, the president still gave some space that the contract may be, cancelled, restructured.
Yeah.
This is an
government acting through the Ministry of Finance and GRA may terminate.
May.
With or without cost.
This is a very worrying matter because the monies that you are talking about is not, some Nigerian will say, not inconsiderable. the sums we are talking about are not inconsiderable, especially considering our current state, where we are fighting for IMF bailout. And we are desperate. We can't even find enough money to pay producers of LNG for our power producing companies. The doomsday that we are experiencing, when I checked, some of the technical people in the field are telling me now that it is about generation. Because for some time we had been told, we don't have generational problem. It is just distribution. Now my information is that Talo, for example, has decided that they will not give LNG to government on credit anymore. The government is owing. So the government must pay.
Maybe you have to break down the LNG.
Liquefied natural gas. That government must pay first. And we are hiring a company to pay the monies that, first of all, we don't have. 2, to perform a function that already NPA and GRA are performing, even if there are issues. So couldn't you use some of this revenue that is coming to help NPA and GRA to improve their own systems, such that you don't set up a company that is turning out to be quite dubious in the eyes of many people? The way this whole process has been rushed, the way parliamentary approvals have been avoided, the way procurement laws have been flouted, the way the whole enterprise has been shrouded in such suspicions. Why should we put ourselves into this? Why should the government insist? Why should majority leader be defending such a matter? When GRA is telling you, when I checked the report that Fourth Estate did, they said GRA admitted they don't need SML data to be able to check what revenue they should collect from the petroleum sector.
And GRA is on video.
Yeah, they said they don't need. MPA said we are already doing this job. So why do you want to take it away from? You want to weaken the state's own institutions further. And mind you, the petroleum sector, whether you like it or not, is a highly strategic sector. It's a security sector. So for the government to be handling it as if it's business as usual, we haven't finished talking about PDS, we haven't finished talking about, and all, and then the government is insisting. This would embolden the people who would tell you that this current government under President Kufuor is not interested in fighting corruption, but rather creating avenues for people to make dubious monies. Because if you have a timber company suddenly becoming a revenue assurances company, who would be comfortable with that? I think the government has to be very careful. Look, when people criticize these matters, when people raise these issues, I don't think they are being political. This has to do with billions of dollars. If in every year, SML is going to take $100 million minimum for 5 years, that is 500 million. Renewable, at least another 5 years. That is $1 billion. And then you are saying that the money that government is giving is not state money. So is the business state business? Is it the government that is awarding the contract, or is some private person who is awarding the contract? A private person has not awarded the contract to SML. It is the government. The government, the people in government, don't use their pocket money to construct roads or to pay for projects, public projects. It is the people's money that is used to pay for such public-oriented projects. So I think the defense of the majority leader, especially, Honorable Ofenyo Marking, he has to go back and look at what he's trying to defend.
Oh, he says no wrong has been done.
The government, no wrong has been done by violating procurement laws. No wrong has been done. No wrong has been done by violating parliamentary procedures. No wrong has been done by paying monies for services that GRA says they don't need. You know, sometimes you are not a technical person, but when you hear some of these things and you look at the background information and what is emerging, you ask yourself, the people in government, the people in public offices, are they really interested in doing things that would save us further hardships, or that they are looking for opportunities for their friends, themselves, and other people just to make money? That, for me, it makes this deal very smelly. And it is, I would advise the president and the government, pull the brakes all together on this arrangement. 2, whatever monies have already been paid, do a proper value for money audit. It is possible that at the end of the investigation, you might realize that monies that have been paid were unwarranted.
Right.
And they may have been paid wrongly, and then you retrieve them. 3, if it is the case that GRA and MPA and other allied institutions have any weaknesses in their structures and their infrastructure, their management systems, their data systems, their technologies, and so therefore are not able to perform optimally, the best thing to do, use just a fraction of all these resources to beef them up.
Right.
After all, if you consolidate the institutions properly and you resource them properly, you don't need a duplication of the same institutions to perform the same functions. That is the problem with the fighting of corruption, where you have all manner of institutions scattered all over the place, and none of them is able to effectively fight corruption. That is the kind of case I'm seeing in this matter.
Not a concentrated approach. Lawyer Makwa, so you see there's a public interest question here. So even if there is a stated weakness or concern
It's too much.
revenue
It's too
management
much.
in the downstream sector, the means to correcting it or addressing it should not create a problem by itself. And that's what even the president's own statement, you see, because we have all not seen the details of the document, that in fact the KPMG's audit, the full of it, we are basing our analysis on the president's own statement that actually details and gives an indication that there was some wrongdoing from no parliamentary approval.
Or
You see,
what is in the
because-
reports,
And that's why this call for the public to know, at least the publication of this report is extremely important. Well, the majority leader thinks otherwise, but really, in the interest of, shouldn't we all, some of these questions that the president's own statement has been raised, for instance, why Parliament did not get approval for this extension of the services of this company SML, these PPA approvals that were not obtained, and yet you have certain services being rendered by the company. Shouldn't we all be concerned in getting answers to this?
Well, thank you, Alfred. I want to say this. I'm not pivoting the question. I want to say this, that just like my senior brother said, we got the call very late. I called my call after 9 o'clock. And for a topic like this, if it was law, I can stand anywhere and talk law. When it comes to auditing and things like this, I think we need more information, more time. Now I have to scramble between now and then to get what has the president said. Oh, Sammy.
Well played.
No, but
If the chief communicator of NDC say well played, well, I would say thank you for
it's not new. It's something that's been running for the past at least 3 weeks or so.
No. It doesn't mean that we are coming here.
Yeah.
I'm a law lecturer. I'm this and that. So if I'm coming here, I'm a student. They are writing my paper. I'm my students
Today.
watching me. Exactly. When I leave here, I'm going to vigilate. You see, so you need more. You need more. Martin. I don't know why these two people. They are haggling me
After
today.
the show, I'll give you more filler before you go.
I have a GRA petroleum downstream leader.
So wait.
It's dark. It's like the fight between Accra and Rollins.
What happened? So please,
Lawyer.
next time, give us input and give us information, you see, so that we can do justice to it. Again, as I said, as a legal practitioner and a law lecturer, when certain things are clear on the face of it, you don't dance around it. Okay, so of course, Section 33 is an issue. Now, it is the president's own white paper that is releasing all this. You see, so I draw much confidence from the president's white paper. Okay, it has. Sorry.
More like a press statement.
No. It's communications director. Oh, great. Right. So, but I place more emphasis on this. Okay, and this itself is coming out with recommendations of KPMG. It's coming out with And then it says here, the president has accepted the recommendations of KPMG and directs as follows. So it's not that there was this, the president said we will not accept, there are certain instances where the president will not accept this and we explain. He said, having accepted, now I direct as follows. So it's not that the president is not taking steps to stop whatever the irregularities were. It would be foolhardy on anybody's part, to come on this August platform and say that regardless of the board not ratify or not agreeing to things and they went ahead and whatnot is immaterial. Just make sure that we have a lot of information. So when we come and we're dealing with matters like this, we do just, as I said, I keep on underscoring it. We need to protect the public purse. We need to, especially when they sit on platforms like this.
Indeed.
Are you really a big
And
You're a bit different from the
that's the first time you're meeting me. There are a lot of us within MPP, a lot, including Alhaji Bawumia, that you are. There are a lot of us. Including Alhaji Bawumia. That is why.
He's very corrupt.
That is why. Martin, that's what you want to say. That is why. That is why Alhaji Bawumia will look at digitalization. So that he cuts out the human interface. So machines will do
You see
their
the
work.
corruption with that.
I said he cuts out.
Please.
You can't cut it out.
You see, they have confirmed walking into the lions. Then you see, they have confirmed that.
Proceed.
You see, they have confirmed that.
I am-
sorry, I'm still bringing my hand here. Sorry. You see, they are confirming walking to the lions. That issue. You see, that is why we're seeking to do that.
Okay.
You see, when it comes to corruption in this country, yes, it's easy to point fingers at public officials and whatnot. Those people who have stayed in the ministries, public servants and civil servants for a long time, nobody looks at them. Nobody looks at them at all. If we really want to come against corruption, let us stop the backs and forth and look at the potholes. This SML thing was brought in so that because even in the report it says there's clearly an underreporting. My senior brother here did not say that there's no underreporting. He is saying that the money that we gave to these people, we should have used that to solve the problem.
Strengthen
Yes, but that's a long term.
No.
That's a long term project.
No, it's not a long term.
We need to.
These monies are coming in right now.
Senior brother.
So if it's a matter of technology, it's a matter of expertise.
Senior brother. Now I also joining them. Senior brother.
No. I just
Follow the law. Go to Parliament for approval. Go to
I'm not disputing that at all.
Go to PPA
But I'm saying that because we need to seal all the portals across the value chain, okay? And this clearly has shown that when they came in, we increased the stock. It is clear. In fact, the GRA boss has also said that.
It's not that
No.
to them.
So
I think this one, there's some factual error there. Now, one of the factors that saw the increase in revenue from the petroleum sector was consumption.
Yes.
Increased consumption.
Simple,
I
nominal
think that-
increase in consumption. That was one of the big factors, not because of the work that SML did. That was established by the KPMG report. Yes.
you have seen the report. I haven't seen the
Portions of it, I've seen portions of it.
Well, I wish. You see, that's what I'm saying. I wish.
I had to go and look for it myself. Actually.
No, but I'm saying
they didn't give me any information.
I wish all of us get the report so that we can do justice. If you want to call us back, so be it. So that we all do justice to that. So I'm relying on this paper from the presidency and talking to it. And I'm saying that clearly they themselves are saying that yes, there are infractions. Nobody should dispute that.
Okay.
When we get the full picture, we can come back and deal with the vexed matters. Where the chip falls, it falls.
Well, Council,
Sorry? And there are a lot of us. To the first time you're meeting me.
This to be made public, because we spoke about this last week, so maybe we just spend a couple of minutes on this. That demand for this report to be made public, you would expect that will be supported, but the majority leader makes the point that report, the KPMG audit report, is for their advisory of the president, not really for public consumption.
Yeah, so the It's interesting. You know, sometimes these
In a
things
few
that,
minutes on this.
Yes, some of these things that we do here, you know, when I say do here, that's in Ghana, is for the advice of the president, is national security, etc. You know, you look at it, and I like to read, you know, some of these books, history in America, just to see. We found parallels like that. When you look at this book, Waging War on Corruption by Frank Vogel, right, as part of it, chronicling corruption, blah, 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 at a point, and I'm making this also in reference to Afenyo Markin's point that we are destroying Ghanaian business. No, when you read this book, you see how he references one case after another of big American firms. Last week, I mentioned the case of Mobil. Mobil we see today now, they've changed Exxon, Gulf Oil, etc. Yes, so you even see more today, right? And also the point that businesses are often corrupt. Businesses are often corrupt. Look at this, what do you call it, statement here. So that it says as a preamble for us to go in. He says that at the opening hearing, Houghton challenged Senator Church by declaring that bribery was part of global business. Huh? Yeah, that bribery was part of global business. It was the way things got done. He admitted that his firm had made foreign payments to politicians in the previous 4.5 years of around $22 million, etc. Right? So these are some of, and that's the CEO of Lockheed of California. Now I'm wondering whether Lockheed of California is the same as now what they have. You know, now it's Lockheed Martin.
Yeah. While we round up.
Yeah, so the point is that everywhere serious governments take on corrupt businesses. They take them on. You can't come and sit here. It's like what Professor Jampo said last week, crabology, that we are destroying our own. Please, let's not make such arguments.
Okay.
Nano Hinito has made the point that you watch the video, and I also watch. When they ask, and even Sami Jemfi made the same point, when they ask the IT guru, Ibrahim Abubakar, they say, your technology and the GRA zone, which one is better? Then he said the GRA one, the metering technology. Okay. He said that one was better. He said that one was better. Then you find again, come to this part, Mustafa Hamid, like I mentioned earlier. When I left here, if you monitor other stations, Sewa Sapon, she brought a letter that Mustafa Hamid knew about the contract. Yet in the video, Mustafa Hamid said he is now going to check. Yeah, check. News file last week. Sewa held a letter. Maybe we should read the content, but she's very clear that Mustafa Hamid knew about the contract. So he was lying, once again doing crocodile tears in the Manasseh documentary. Okay. Because in the documentary, he now said he wants to see. And you even see that he was interviewed in July last year. And the documentary came out in November. So between July and November, what did Mustafa Hamid do? You see how these guys will just fleece us. They'll steal everything.
And these are fundamental questions.
I say that we are targeting Ghanaian companies.
You said
Papa Kwesi Indium,
That's very unfortunate.
Amwabe, and before. Were they from Kuwait? Are they Zimbabweans?
Well,